Right, so in a previous video we created this part here, which is the console part, but we didn't add the slot for the game card. So in this video we're going to add the slot for the game card onto the console. So the first thing we're going to need to do is get the working drawings for the sizes required to make this slot into the console. You can see up here, the slot is inside the console for the game card. So if you open Inventor and then open your console part that's been saved and created previously. So this is my one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to start a 2D sketch, and I'm going to start the 2D sketch on this surface here, this top surface, because if we go to the working drawing, you can see that the slot for the game card is on the top surface of the console. So back to Inventor, we're creating a 2D sketch on this surface here, this face. That's going to position it so we're seeing that straight on. If I press the middle mouse wheel twice, it's going to zoom in so it fills the screen. Next thing I want to do is use the rectangle tool, and I'm just going to create a rectangle over here. Doesn't matter the size or the positioning yet, we'll fix that in a second. So I'm just going to click once and then click twice to put in the rectangle. So from the working drawings, you can see that this slot for the game card is going to be 40 wide and 5 millimeters by 40 millimeters. So if I go back to Inventor, I'm going to use the dimension tool. So if I was to click on this line here when it turns red, and then just click above here, it tells me that the size of it at the moment, I want to change that to 40. And then I'm going to use the dimension tool again, clicking on here, so when it goes red, and then clicking to the side, and I want to change this dimension to 5, and then the green tick when I've done that. So I've now created a 40 by 5 millimeter rectangle on the top face, just like the working drawing says, 40 by 5. So now we need to use the dimension tool to get it into correct position. So you can see that from this edge here, it's 10 millimeters in. So from there to there, 10 millimeters. So if I go back to Inventor, using the dimension tool, I could then click on this outside line here when it goes red, click on this line here when it goes red, and then move downwards just into an area down here, and then click again. And that will allow me to then type into here 10 millimeters, and then when I'm happy, I could click on the little green tick, and that'll move it so that it's spaced from here to here by 10 millimeters. Next thing I want to do is have a look at my working drawing. You can see that this slot for the game card is spaced 2 millimeters from the back edge. So there's a 2 millimeter space. So that's this little bit here, quite small. So if I go to Inventor, once again using the dimension tool, I can choose this back edge. When it goes red, click, and then I'm going to move down, and then I'm going to click on this line here when it goes red. And if I move to the side and just click over here somewhere, Inventor's telling me that at the moment that's spaced at this size here, 3.4, but I want to change that to the same as the working drawing, which is 2 millimeters. Once I've done that, I can click on the green tick, and it's spaced correctly now. So I've created the rectangle, which is 40 by 5, which is correct. It's spaced 2 millimeters from the back edge, and it's spaced 10 millimeters from this right edge here. So once it's in the correct position and I'm happy, I can click Finish Sketch. So that's on the top there. Next thing we want to do is we're going to use the Extrude Tool, and you can see at the moment with the zoom in, using my mouse wheel, I'm just pulling it towards me, that at the moment it's extruding it upwards from this face, but I want to be cutting inwards or subtracting material inwards. So if I go to the work and drawing, I can see that it's going to be going down to a depth of 50 millimeters. So it's going down inside the console a depth of 50 millimeters. So back to Inventor. Here where it says distance A, I'm going to change that to 50. I've still got it set so that it's not going in, it's coming out. So to change that, over here where it says direction, instead of choosing this first option, I'm going to choose the second option, which is going to flip it. It's going to change it so that it's cutting or subtracting material from the console. When I'm happy that I've chose the correct option, I can click OK. And you can see now it's created this cutout in the top face. So I'm just going to click the mouse wheel twice to zoom out. Use my orbit tool over here to just have a look, and you can see I've cut a slot into the top face there. And then just press escape. So I can now save that. So that is the console component completely finished.